Hello, TJ Callan here with Callan's Crafting Studio. Thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to do a quick update on the newest version of Inkscape that was recently released, and some of the dialog boxes have changed since my last video, which shows you how to separate your color layers and save it as an SVG to be imported for use in Cricut Design Space. So stay tuned, because here we go. Before we get started, I just wanted to give a shout out to Sue Bernstein, who is one of my viewers who discovered that her dialog box looked different than what I had shown and featured in my last video, and we couldn't figure out why. And then we realized that there was a newer version of Inkscape that had been released, and the Trace bitmap dialog box looks a little bit different. So let me show you what that looks like now. So this is the new version of Inkscape. It looks very similar to the older version. If you want to know what one you're running, you can click on Help and go to About Inkscape, and you can see that this is Inkscape 1.0. I don't know why I can't say that word. If I try to say it fast 3 times, I will really stumble over myself. But anyway, it just doesn't roll off the tongue very easily. I do have the older version on here too. You can have both of them, which the one I had was 0.92.4. So for this one, instead of using the American flag, I'm going to use a flower. I found a cute little daisy here that has 3 colors on it, so I thought that that would be good for a reference. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit in size. So really the steps are going to be the same. You just go up to Path, and then click on Trace Bitmap, okay, and you get this dialog box here, which for some reason is coming up very large on my computer, but when I try to bring it down, now it defaults to this single scan, and you're like, what the heck, where's all the stuff for the layers? So you want to click on multiple scans, and then this brightness step is defaulted. You want to click that drop down and change it to colors, and it defaults to 8. And you can click the little update, and it's going to bring a picture of what it is you're trying to separate. So I'm going to go ahead and take this down to 4 and remove background, and then hit update again, and that gets rid of the background. Now you would think it would just be 3, because I only see 3 colors, which is yellow, red, and green, but when I take it down to 3 and I hit update, it gives me a whole yellow background. I have no explanation for that. Like I said, I'm not an expert at all in this program. I simply use it just to separate my colors and use it in Cricut Design Space. So I know nothing else about this program other than how to separate these layers. So sometimes I get questions about how to do other stuff. I am not your girl for that. This is simply just to be able to separate and save it as an SVG. So you do have to play sometimes. So I'm going to take it back up to 4, hit update. It gets rid of that yellow background, and then down here in the lower right hand corner, click OK. And then I'm going to close the dialog box. Okay, so now it has given me, if I pull this one aside, we have 2 images. This was my original image because it has the gray checked background. I'm going to delete that one. If you click on this now, go up and hit Object, and then Ungroup. You can see now that there's different layers. You click off of it, and it's going to pull a yellow layer, a green, and a red. And that's what we want. We want the layers separated. Now you can put it back together. It doesn't really matter if you do it now or once you get it into Cricut, but the steps are the same. You just want to go to File, Save As, and you want to change this to a plain SVG. And I already have one on here, but I'm just going to use the same one and just call it Flower, and then hit Save. And yes, I am going to replace the one that I had tested it with, and we should be done with Inkscape. Now you can see again, if we go into Cricut, I have a blank canvas. I'm going to upload a photograph. Let's see, I don't know if this is big over here. Oh, shoot. Take it down. I can drag this Oh, I'm sorry, I have to hit upload image first, and then you can drag it or you can just browse to it. But there it is, the flower. We're going to click on it. You can see it's selected down here. We're going to insert the image. Now, if I go ahead up top right and click on group, we've got the 3 different images. Now it did give me a little bit of noise in here. Some other little, I don't know if we blow it up, you can probably see that there's a couple little weird black things. The easiest way to clean that up would be just to take a shape of any sort, go over on top of it. I don't know if I can grab more 2 of these at the same time, maybe. Yeah, there we go. And you select both images and then hit slice and then get rid of that. Click on this, get rid of that. Usually there's 3 of them. Click it again. See, that's gone. I cleaned it up. And there's another little one up top here, so we'll just go ahead, add another little shape, size it down. It's a little big. Clean that. Select it, slice it, and then just delete everything out of there. So now we just have that. So sometimes that happens with the images. It just depends. Some images are just so complex and there's all kinds of shading and you get all kinds of different layers. So you really have to play with it in order to get it to how you would want it to cut or print in Cricut. So now when we click on Make It, you can see, there we go. We've got all 3 on our separate mats, the stem, the petals, and the center, and it would cut properly. Whereas if we just went ahead and imported the original image, which I'll browse to that, which is this one, we get the simple, moderate, complex because it's recognizing it as one of these files, a PNG. I think this was a PNG file. And if we click on, I don't know, we'll just go simple because it looks like it's simple, and hit continue. It's got this crazy background here. Let's see if, I don't even know what that did. So let's undo it. Let's just not even do anything and just hit continue and see what happens. So see here, you just get, if you were to try to cut it, it's just going to give you a big blobby square. Your only option is going to be print then cut. And we don't want that. We want to cut the layers in different colors separately. So that's where this is very beneficial, to have a separated image so you can cut them that way. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to my page. And if you're interested about any time I post new content, just click on that little bell notification. I really appreciate you watching. See you next time.